Hi, my name is Hammer. I found Smart Recovery on the internet and began attending meetings and using chat and the message boards 4.5 years ago. It has changed my life in so many ways. Those of us who use Smart Recovery Online, or SOL as we like to call it, would like to share with all of you why we are so dedicated to the website and what kinds of stories you can hear from hundreds and hundreds of people who've been empowered to change their lives at SOL. You'll find about 15 of us here at the gathering. Take a minute to hear the stories of how SOL changes lives. First, for those of you who are not familiar, let me give you a quick tour. SOL has a wonderful library where you can find articles and worksheets that will help you learn about the tools and concepts for which Smart Recovery is so famous. One of the ways that I learned to use many of the tools was by posting my work on the message boards and asking others for feedback and critique. Another wonderful resource SOL provides is a chat room that's open 24/7. Here people can come when they're feeling urges or upsets and ask for real-time support and feedback. And finally, the meetings. SOL has 13 meetings each week. Those held in ParaChat or TypeChat can run upwards of 35 people in a meeting. And the ones on PalTalk, our voice chat venue, can run between 12 to 25 people per meeting. In addition, we also have organized volunteer support. This September, we began a tool training schedule with 2 trainings per month. All volunteers are welcome and encouraged to come. See your handout for a schedule of training sessions. And once each month, Tom Horvath and Hammer donate an hour to providing a volunteer support meeting that we call Fresh Start Monday, on the second Monday of each month. This is a time to talk about you and issues that come up in your own life. It is such a wonderfully supportive atmosphere. It's a chance for a meeting that can be all about you. Now let me share some of the stories from people who have used Smart Recovery Online.
Sam here. I live in sunny California. My husband and I have 2 great boys in their mid-30s who live on the West Coast, a day's travel away. Elwood, our 18-year-old cat, and Tuppence, our 10-year-old Dalmatian, allow us to live in their home, as long as we behave ourselves. I have many passions in my life: piano, photography, gardening, poetry, writing, and reading. Mr. Sam and I love classical music, opera, and the ballet, and I also love attending the local Broadway theaters with my friend Patrick, an elderly gent who is also a photographer. Volunteering here at SMART has been a treasure for me. Not only have I found my own life again through the use of these marvelous tools, I also have the privilege of being a part of a great community. The freedom of choice is a priceless gift that SMART has given me.
Hey, I'm Craw. I host the Wednesday night meeting in eVoice. I've been involved in SMART and REBT for about 3 years, and once I even rode in an elevator with Albert Ellis's laundry. So I got that going for me, I guess. What I like most about SMART is that folks didn't talk down to me when I came here for help. I'd made some poor decisions in my life, and SMART was here to show me some new decision-making tools. That's all. I'm not powerless, and I'm not powerful. I'm just Craw, and I have Craw goals, and I have Craw values, and I think that one of SMART's primary strengths is that it respects and acknowledges the individuality of its participants.
When I arrived at SOL, one of the ever-constant and very rational voices I got to know was that of my dear friend Fenquat. He'd been in business and found SOL through the CBT therapist he used when he decided it was time to change his bad habits. Fenquat has been with SOL since September of 2003. He's been a message board volunteer, a facilitator, and a chat volunteer, but mostly he's been a constant visual for me that life doesn't have to be one upset after another. The past is in the past. I can make a difference for myself. And he also inspired me to want to pay it forward. I share this story with his permission. The Slurpee Story by Fenquat. Okay, this is not a call for a top this one or anything, just a small, less than stellar secret from back in the day. Maybe it belongs in the horrors of drinking thread. This happened about a year ago during midwinter. It was cold then. I used to keep a large thermal cup on the Hoosier out in the garage. This was next to the door from the laundry room and provided easy access. I would fill this with rum and use it to refresh my glass in the evening. What was left, the next morning I would carry to my car and place in the cup holder thing. That way, I had some ready to go as soon as I got to the 7-Eleven after work. Go to the machine, add the Slurpee, and mix it all up. In the beginning it was quite thick, and I'd start right in. One day, I did this and was drinking it. After you get it down a bit, you add more rum. Always kept a 1.75 liter in the car. I was a mess back then. The Slurpee mixture thins out, and then you can really go to town. So, I'm driving, stirring the now much thinner elixir, and I can feel something that impedes the motion of the straw. Now, my crisp, sparkling brain uses the scientific method and decides that there's a lump of Slurpee ice in there. I drink more, adding more rum as space allows. The beauty of the Slurpee system was you could just keep adding rum, Slurpees being so sweet and flavorful and ice-like. I keep stirring, and there's still a lump of Slurpee ice. This goes against my hypothesis. This much rum should have, and normally would have, melted anything. So I drive. I'm looking down and trying to lift up the ice thing with my straw. As I do, I notice it's not an ice-like lump. It's a flippin' dead mouse! It must have crawled over the lip of the cup and drowned or OD'd when the cup was in the garage. I pull over and dump the whole thing out. I was more upset by having to toss out the drink than I was by drinking something that had a dead mouse in it. The next 7-Eleven I got to, I went in, used their sink to wash my big old mug, got a refill, and started right back in drinking, without missing a beat. Unbelievable. I was a mess. The past is over, and we cannot change it. We can change ourselves.